What's up, guys? Cedo Cards here for another video. So, I've said over and over again that I've wanted to look at the cheaper cards within the set. I think my videos where I've been recording for 20-25 minutes, I've not had the chance to discuss the say for example the overnumbered cards that aren't signature, as well as some of the rare cards that are as well within the £150, $50 range. So I was hoping to do that today. Depending on how long it takes for me to get through each card, we may just get through the overnumbered, and I may do a separate video for the rares, Caffeine Rain and other cards that kind of are showing quite a lot of value. As usual, guys, give us a like, give us a comment. If you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate that. If not, as I've said before, as long as you're showing up every video, it's not too much of a concern to me. I do appreciate it regardless. So we have seen a major dip in the price of the overnumbered cards. Straight out the gate when it was released, end of October, these prices were in the 300, 350, and I had told you guys to please exercise some caution, please exercise some patience, because obviously this is a brand new TCG, it's a brand new game. The demand is there, but at launch everything is so inflated. We are now seeing, for example, Ari, one of the most gorgeous cards in TCG so far, sitting at really $169. It's shown the last sort of most recent sale. If we go for the most recent sales, we're seeing 169, 189, but really we're in the 160 range. And this was shooting 300, 350, damn near 400 at one point. So, I always said to exercise with caution. Again, it is a gorgeous card. I think, and the issue is, we are so early into the TCG, and, once these are out of stock, once these are out of print, then yes, they will be a good, purchase if you do want this as a collectible. But there is still so much time for this to still go down in price. And I say that, but yeah, well, what I want to say is we are seeing an issue where supply of the boost boxes are so thin that and we'll go through it across these overnumbered, that actually we are seeing a climb again in the price of these. But I think purely it's because there is just so little stock that we are seeing so little come to the market. I would still exercise caution in purchasing these. If you want to collect these and hold these for the long term, there will be a time where this, I think, is even lower than it is now. But I could be wrong. The demand could continue to grow, particularly as Spirit Force comes out in start of the next year, and they begin to print less and less of Origins to focus on set 2, set 3, which comes out in May. So I may be wrong in saying that this is not the floor, but it's always a case of exercising caution. If you do really want it, I wouldn't say this is a bad time to purchase. It was definitely a silly time to purchase when it had just come out, unless you were desperate and itching for some League of Legends collectible items. But I wouldn't say now is a bad time. Now seeing that the price has plummeted quite significantly. So if you wanted to purchase it now, I wouldn't be mad. I think there's a chance this does drop a bit further, but there is a chance that actually we have met a floor, at least for now, and that this may start to climb as we see that there is less and less supply of boost boxes. Not only that, boost boxes are going up quite a lot in price that we have seen in the previous video, which means that less and less people are actually opening them because they don't want to take the risk of opening them and not being able to get their money back. It's funny, I was just going through some of my pulls that I had pulled in the past, and I hadn't realized actually the price of these had gone up quite considerably. And I think in total, looking at all the epics, rares, and showcases, that I've got about maybe $300 there. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so it's pounds wise. I haven't checked the prices for pounds, but at least because I purchased the boxes for about £100, £115 each. If I wanted to sell this at decent value, I'd probably get at least you know, from 2 boxes I opened, probably get most of my money back. But now that it's, you know, £300 a box, you know, it's 300, you know, damn near £300 a box, $300 a box. You know, you're not as guaranteed, or there's less, you know, you're more at risk of losing money if that's your aim. So we'll probably see the behavior of less booster boxes being opened, which means that the supply of these cards starts to dry up until we get reprints. Now, I've heard from some vendors that there should be a reprint in December, that they should get more stock in December, but we just don't know, you know. So exercise caution, and yeah, let's see how things go. And you know, Kaiser as well. Yeah, I'm quite surprised. Again, well, I'm not surprised that the prices have fallen as such, but we'll discuss in another video. You know, the Kaiser signature is going for like 1.6k, 1.7k. It's actually climbing still, which is amazing. And again, it is such a gorgeous card, and I've said it before. You know, it reminds you of the manga Jagan. Great manga. You know, similar color scheme. Very dope. Very badass. And reminds me of that. But we are seeing, you know, a price of $140 for this. It's a shame. I do think this is a gorgeous card. And again, these are going to be the flaws. This is the price for now while we are still in print. Once this is out of print, you know, we will start to see the value and the love for these cards to grow. But currently it's 140. I think it's a good buy, to be honest. I think there is still room for this to dip, but I do think it's a good buy as well. It's just a gorgeous card. They are hard to get. I do know, you know, when you're in a Discord and people are showcasing their pulls left, right, and center, and people are getting this card, the Aria card, the Yasuo card, you get a bit jealous and you start to think, actually, it's probably not that hard to pull, but no, these are still hard to pull. So I'm not mad at this price, 141. I do still think this has room to depress still. I mean, we are seeing prices still dipping slightly for this card. But I do expect a climb, in my opinion, for this at some point. Victor, surprisingly, is worth more than Kaiser. I think it's just because of how unique this artwork is and the design. It's £150, $150. I mean, really, we're seeing a whole variety. I've seen 89, 119, 149 today, but really we're looking at 90. You know, market price right now is $93. Yeah, I think looking at the state of the overnumbered cards, really we're looking around the $50 to about $160. So I think we are seeing that the market has been flooded with these. Really, that's I think that's really, I was going to say two, but really it's just one. The market's been flooded with these, and these are gorgeous cards. And people do like them, and people do think there's a lot of value in them, but we have just been flooded with these. So again, if you notice here, we saw a major dip, but we have seen it climb again in the last few days. And again, I think that's to the point I was making, that supply is starting to thin up a bit. So we are seeing a bit of a climb in some of these cards. Not all of them, but I think we are seeing more climb than others dip. If we take, for example, Misfortune, it's currently sitting at around 90, but we have seen in the last few days a steep climb, and now we have seen a gradual pickup again in the last few days. If I click on view more data, looking at 125, 119, you know, a few days ago, looking at 60, 70, 79. So we are seeing a climb back again, and I do think that's because of the fact that we don't have that many in supply at the moment, at least many that are moving around. I think at this point right now, collectors are getting their hands on this. We are not seeing investor bros try to flip packs around, flip cards around. I think what's happening is these are getting into the hands of collectors, and then they're not leaving in the hands of collectors. So what's left in the supply is quite thin. So we are seeing, again, the demand start to cause the value to go up. Set, we are looking at $86. Doesn't surprise me that this is one of the cheaper ones as well. Set, as much as he's a dope character, he's a cool character, but you know, one, he's a top lane character, he's a top laner, so there's less, you see less play because of that. Two, you know, he doesn't really fit the the schema, the theme of League of Legends. You know, I forgot his, you know, I forgot his story, to be honest. And I know the story of damn near every character. Maybe not Nami. I don't know the story, but you know, there isn't much to pull from Set. You know, there isn't much emotion you can attach to him. There's fresh. There's you know, you can attach so much emotion and be captivated by his story. Damn near, you know, Jarvan, Xin Zhao, who else? Kai'Sa. You know, there's stories you can attach to. Just don't get that upset. It's a cool looking card. It's a cool character. So we are seeing roughly 86 right now that the market's been flooded. You know, we are seeing total souls recently quite a lot. 149 there. So there's much more under the table. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. We're seeing Teemo $81 as well. We've seen a steep drop as well with Teemo. But again, we are seeing that climb, as I mentioned. And again, I do think it's due to the fact that supply is just running thin, and we are seeing less and less. But Teemo was seeing $81. Again, a steep drop from, you know, the 250, the 300 we were seeing with these overnumbered initially. Jinx surprised me a lot as well. 77. I would have expected her to sit, you know, with Ahri and Kai'Sa as you know, a much pricier card. Particularly, you know, she's been around since what, 2013. You know, she's an OG in this game. It is a cool card, but you know, I would imagine this is a very male-dominated space. So it doesn't surprise me that she isn't the, you know, the item that everyone wants at the moment. $77. I think it's a great purchase. I would absolutely grab this in a heartbeat. I think people don't respect Jinx as a character and Jinx as a staple face in League of Legends. I think once this is out of print, this will climb, you know, a lot faster than others, and definitely sit around the same space as Ahri, Kai'Sa, and Yasuo. Leona, $70. Again, this doesn't surprise me. She's a support character, gorgeous card, probably one of my favorite cards from this. I did pull this in the chat with the Chinese booster box. I haven't pulled any overnumbered in the English so far, but I think this is a gorgeous card. And again, $70. I do think this will continue to drop, even with supply filling. I think just due to her being a support character, there isn't as much demand as there is for other characters. So even with a suppression of supply, I do think this has room to drop. So purchase now if you want. If you want to hold it for long term, it's a fine purchase. But I do think that there is room for it to keep depressing. Now, Yasuo surprised me very much so, because I do think this is not just a great League of Legends card, but probably one of the most gorgeous cards in TCG as a whole. We're looking at $70, and I think this is absolutely a steal. This is, honestly, if I had disposable money, I would buy a bunch of these, grade a bunch of them, throw them a bunch of the grading, throw some to PSA 10, sorry, PSA, throw some to BJS. I would just throw them because this is such a gorgeous card, and this is going to hold so much value in the future. Yasuo is a loved character. He has been there since 2013, and not only that, this card is so cold. This makes the Yasuo look so electric, and of course he is a wind character. He's not really electric, but this just exemplifies, you know, the ridiculousness of his character. I think this is an absolute snag. I would buy this at a heartbeat. It seems to be climbing as well. Much of other cards, we saw this depress very low to $44, which is crazy. I've not been tracking the overnumbered for some time. That is crazy. So whoever bought at $44 is having a laugh, because this card is gorgeous and it's worth so much more. I would buy these, man. I would buy these in a heartbeat for sure. Volibear, we're looking at 67. I think that's reasonable. I love Volibear. I mained him. I played him for years. You know, I probably picked him up the first time in 2014, 2015. Great character. Loved him as a jungler. Used him in top lane sometimes. This is before his rework. I stopped playing. I hardly played him after his rework. His rework is a great rework as well. Love the rework. But $67. It doesn't surprise me. Again, would I purchase him? if you're not a Volibear person and you don't know Volibear, then I don't think it's worth the purchase. I don't think it has as much upside potential, personally. It will of course climb as all of these will over time, but not in the same rate that, you know, putting $70 into a Yasuo card would, or putting, you know, $172 into the Ari non-signature, even the Victor non-signature as well. Like, this is just such a gorgeous card. This is a cool card. I just don't think it's enough for, if you're not, you know, to grab if you're not a Volibear person, personally. Lucian, again, this surprises me. $66. This is, again, just absolutely going to skyrocket once it's out of print. I think those that have played League of Legends long enough just know the immense hype and attachment people have to Lucian as a character. Like, he has defined and progressed the skill level in League of Legends single-handedly. You know, he upped the stakes for junglers. He forced, you know, ADCs to really learn how to kite, how to defend themselves. You know, he opened up so many plays for all lanes. I think this being $66 is a joke, and again, we are seeing a climb. The lowest it hit was $51. I would buy this in a heartbeat as well. Lastly, Darius, I wouldn't recommend anyone buy this unless you're a Darius person. It's $48. This doesn't highlight Darius as a character. I think this is just a very goofy card, personally. You know, those who have played League of Legends know Darius is one to be reckoned with. You know, if they pick Darius on the other team, you know you're not gonna have a fun time. You know it's gonna be difficult, and you know if you mess up, you know the other team, you've probably just given the other team a free win. So I don't think this card respects. That is a card that exemplifies Darius. $48. It doesn't, you know, this price doesn't bother me. I don't think it's, you know, if someone asked me, if someone said it's $48, I would say yeah, fair enough. It's just not. It doesn't show Darius in the light that he should be shown in, personally. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Okay, well that's about 17 minutes. I think we have time then to go through some of the other cards that are doing really well, actually. This is purely because of they have actually really good use in the TCG itself. We have Deadbloom Predator. This is sitting at $100, and I have been tracking this card from launch, and this has steadily picked up in price. It seems to be very useful in the game. Again, I've not played the game, and I've not opened up enough packs. Well, to be fair, I have been lazy. I've got loads of bulk all around me. Like, they're literally everywhere. But I've not spent the time to go through them and actually watch more games as well. But we are seeing $100, so this is very useful in the TCG. We are seeing Time Warp climb as well in price. It is very useful for holding a battlefield and, you know, effectively winning the game. So we are seeing this climb as well. This is currently at $98. Again, we see here a steady climb. Once people found it, it was useful, and we are seeing that with a number of other cards. Dazzling Aurora as well, for example. We are seeing this pick up as well, currently at $83. Again, these are ones to be mindful of, particularly if you are wanting to grab these for the TCG to play them. Probably ones to look at picking up now, because Steam has picked up on the game. People are recognizing what is strong, and because of that, you know, the demand and price of these cards are going up. So I'd be mindful of that. Similarly, Kaiser Origin, $78, good card. Again, these, where I say to exercise caution for the overnumbered cards, the signature cards. Personally, these cards that are really good and playable in the games, if you want to play the game and use these cards, I would say you have to just bite the bullet and purchase these now, because these will continue to climb in price. And yeah, and that's just a testament to the cards themselves. Caffeine Rain, again, similar good card. It's currently at $65, so this has climbed quite a bit. Again, it's also a gorgeous card as well, just the artwork in general. So this is one you can appreciate as well, while knowing it's a good card as well, while playing the game. White Flame Protector, again, great card, one to keep mindful of if you want to collect this and use this in your game. Looking at $63 as well, so it has climbed quite a bit. And you know, lastly, I've got a few more. We want to stop at around the $50 range. Invert Timelines, again, a good card. Able to draw 4, so again, $60 for this. looking pretty good. Showstopper, again about $57, also a pretty good card in the game. Baited Hooks, similarly not a bad card. Bit risky, but not a bad card at all. Looking at $40 for this one, and yeah. So I've not spent much time on the cheaper cards, so I did want to spend a video doing that and having a conversation about, honestly, a lot of opportunities in the lower space, where, you know, typically right now there is loads of hype with these signature cards. I have seen 2 graded cards come back. We saw a BGS 10 sell for 4.5k. Now this is not a black label, this is just a standard. It was 10, 10, 10, 9.5, so almost pristine black label 10. But that was 4.5k. So Yasuo CGC sell for 1.5k, CGC 10. So I am waiting for more and more graded cards to come back so I can start to assess prices for that. But I did want to spend today just looking at the low cards and ones that are a bit cheaper. And I do think these will continue to climb, the overnumbered, as I mentioned, just because the supply is shrinking and filling up. So I do worry that, you know, from a collectible standpoint, people will want to grab these and hold on to these, but there is just less and less that is entering the market because, again, people are opening boost boxes less. You know, I still have 2 boost boxes spare. I will open one of them over time, and I may use, like, at the start of each video, I may just open like 2 packs on the camera at a time and just go through it slowly like that. But at the same time, when it's 300 pounds a box, some people just don't want to open it anymore until reprints happen. So that's it for today. Shorter video. Let me know your thoughts on the overnumbered and the cards that are good for the TCG. Do you think the price is placed right? Do you think it's maybe some of these cards are too cheap? I think the overnumbered are a bit cheap, but, you know, I think it's also it just highlights the fact that there are lots of these on the market now. But again, let's look at this in a year's time, 2 years time, when there's less and less of this, you know, moving, you know, around and available. And then let's really look at these when these are out of print. Not sure how long Riot Games wants to support print for. We have no clue just yet. TCG has just started. Looking at Pokemon, looking at One Piece, probably 2 years. So we've got 2 years of this, and we've got all the time in the world. I'll be here for 3, 4, 5 years. Let's see where things are in the future. That's me. Cedo cards out. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, catch you for the next one.